In the gate. And they're off. Candy on top was out very alertly. Take Care of Me coming through along the rail. Happy as a Clam. Cameron Slav on the vanguard as well. They're followed by No Way It's Today, and Irish Myth is at the back of the field. Moving into the first turn, and it's Take Care of Me, who went a tiny bit wide into the turn, leads it by 2 lengths over Cameron Slough in second. Then comes Candy on top along the rail in third. A little bit of traffic at the back of the field, headed by Happy as a Clam, who's in the 4th spot. No Way It's Today, one from the rail, and Irish Myth tucked inside. 4 lengths covers them onto the back stretch. And it is the long shot, Take Care of Me, tugging hard, leading by a length and a half over Cameron Slav in second. They are followed by Candy on top, Happy as a Clam, side by side. And in between those two, No Way It's Today, followed by Irish Myth. Not much change into the far turn, still tightly bunched, with Take Care of Me still there by about a length and a half. Cameron Slav in second, followed by Candy on top, hard-ridden in third. Between rivals, No Way It's Today. Happy as a Clam is just outside of them. Irish Myth has been at the back throughout. It's wide open, turning for home. Take Care of Me. Cameron Slough alongside. 3 back to Candy on top in third. They're followed by Happy as a Clam. Cameron Slough takes over. A late run coming from No Way It's Today, and it's a good one. No Way It's Today is absolutely flying. Here's the line. No Way It's Today got there right on the money. Cameron Slough lost a heartbreaker. Then it was a 3-way battle among Happy as a Clam, Take Care of Me, and Candy on top. In the gate. And they're off. Billy Joe Shaver and Barack's Reflection, the first 2 out. No Show Jones, Twilight Moon at the rail in fourth, and Puddinhead Jones at the back of the field. They move into the first turn, and Barack's Reflection speeds off now to lead it by almost a length. No Show Jones at the rail, and then another 3/4, Billy Joe Shaver in third. Twilight Moon has settled in fourth, 4 off the lead, 2 clear of Puddinhead Jones. They swing on to the backstretch behind Barack's Reflection. In front, a length and a half. No Show Jones, Billy Joe Shaver head and head. 2 more back to Twilight Moon, who's followed by Puddinhead Jones. 5 lengths now covers the field. Barack's Reflection takes them past the half-mile pole. Leading by about a length and a half now. No Show Jones is racing in second. And there's a sudden move from Twilight Moon. And just like that, Twilight Moon comes through the inside and is second. Billy Joe Shaver on the outside. No Show Jones is back to fifth. Puddinhead Jones went by that rival. Approaching the quarter pole, Barack's Reflection narrowly. Billy Joe Shaver on the outside. Twilight Moon is in third, pushed along now as they reach the top of the stretch. Barack's Reflection confronted by Billy Joe Shaver. They pass the 8th pole. Barack's Reflection. Billy Joe Shaver trying to get by. Barack's Reflection hanging tough under Armando Ayuso and opens up a length and a half once again. It's Barack's Reflection turning them all away, scoring by a length and 3/4. Billy Joe Shaver, Twilight Moon, and Puddinhead Jones. Dancing Mo completes the line. In the gate. And they're off to a clean start. No, never is going out for the early lead. Mirari matches strides in the opening furlong with Lady Claypool, and Bolts Broad is down at the rail. Golden Skyline 5th, 5 off them, and Dancing Mo trails. So it's the favorite Mirari and No, 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 Never, battling it out through the opening quarter mile. Another 2 back to Bolts Broad, a joint third inside Lady Claypool in the blue. 4 more to Golden Skyline, who's 2 in front of Dancing Mo. Mirari has opened up a length. No, 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 Never in second, followed by Bolts Broad on the inside, moving up willingly third, and then comes Lady Claypool, now 3 off them. Golden Skyline and Dancing Mo together at the back. Mirari and Kazushi Kimura take them into the far turn with a 2-length lead over No, 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 Never and Bolts Broad, who are right together. Lady Claypool, 3.5 off them, followed by Golden Skyline and Dancing Mo. Coming to the quarter pole, Mirari, No, 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 Never, Bolts Broad, Lady Claypool trying to come back for more. Dancing Mo wide outside, Golden Skyline, top of the stretch, and Mirari tries to sprint away. Bolts Broad is chasing gamely in second. On the far outside, Dancing Mo is starting to get involved late. A 16th to run, Mirari, Bolts Broad. Mirari tenacious, runs away from Bolts Broad once again, and it will be Mirari, a hard-fought decision. Dancing Mo with a nice rally into second, just in front of Bolts Broad, and then Golden Skyline. In the gate. And they're off. Side by side, and she's Mooey Mooey, the first 2 out. Princess of Time speeds up in between those 2 to take the lead. Well Funded is 4th, 3 off the pace and 2 clear of Plum Creek. Past the 5/8, and it is Princess of Time leading by a 1/2 length. Side by side, she's Mooey Mooey, and then Well Funded with 3.5 to make up. Plum Creek is down on the fence. Into the far turn, side by side takes the lead. Princess of Time trying to keep up second. Then she's Mooey Mooey in third. Well Funded fourth, still with 4 to make up, and another 3 to Plum Creek. Approaching the quarter pole, Princess of Time retakes the lead. She's Mooey Mooey matching stride second. Side by side, dropping back a bit at the rail in third. And Well Funded on the far outside. There's an 1/8 to go. Princess of Time, 2-length lead on She's Mooey Mooey. Well Funded gathering momentum late. 16th pole. Princess of Time by 3. And Princess of Time, very strong today. Princess of Time wins convincingly. Well Funded up for second. She's Mooey Mooey third. And then side by side. We're in the gate. And they're off. Fast start for Take Action on the extreme outside. Here's I'm a Lucky Man in between, and on the rail, the Bullion Bomber has pace as well. Then comes Stop in a Tray, racing in the 4th spot on the inside of Man Overboard. Papa Tiger, who stumbled at the start, is 6 lengths off the lead. Street Humor, Quincy Market, and Golf Drama outside of that pair with less than a 1/2 mile to go. And the lead belongs to the Bullion Bomber into the far turn. Has it by 3/4 of a length. I'm a Lucky Man pressing in second. At the rails, Stop in a Tray is racing a joint third. With moving around the turn, Man Overboard is the gray racing in between horses. And outside of them comes Take Action racing 3 in front of Street Humor. And Papa Tiger there at the top of the stretch. And the battle continues up top. The Bullion Bomber hanging tough on the inside. On the outside, I'm a Lucky Man continues to grind at him. These 2 will come for the wire together. I'm a Lucky Man or the Bullion Bomber. The Bullion Bomber, I'm a Lucky Man. Here is the line. Photo between those 2. The Bullion Bomber resilient inside of I'm a Lucky Man. Behind them, Stop in a Tray and a wide battle for 5th. They're in the gate. And they're off. Cornell and New King both out very alertly. Malibu Rocks in between. Tracker is sprinting up to make it 4 right across the track at a heated early tempo as well. Just behind them, Uplift is 5th, and then it's Indispensable 6th, and 3 lengths off the lead, which is now held by Malibu Rocks. 6 furlongs to run. Malibu Rocks a length and a half. Cornell in 2nd, and New King tucked in under a stronghold in 3rd. Then it's Tracker in the yellow, 3 off the pace in 4th. Indispensable between those two. Uplift is 7 lengths off the lead, 5 furlongs out. Malibu Rocks and Joel Rosario controlling the pace, leading by 2 over Cornell. Ahead back New King at the rail in 3rd, and Indispensable 3.5 off them 4th. Tracker is 5th, and then another 3, Uplift. Heading toward the 3/8 pole. Malibu Rocks continues, going nicely on the front end by a length and a half. Cornell in 2nd. At the rail, New King has lost a little bit of ground. He's 2.5 off them 3rd. And outside of him, Indispensable. Cornell puts his head in front with a 1/4 mile to go. At the rail, Malibu Rocks tries to counter as New King swings into action for the drive. Just got a crack as they come to the 8th pole. It's Cornell just in front. Malibu Rocks not done. He's fighting doggedly at the rail, but it's Cornell with a short lead coming to the 16th pole. Malibu Rocks. These two are clear. Cornell, Malibu Rocks. Cornell is too strong. Cornell beats Malibu Rocks. New King 3rd. Indispensable was 4th. We're in the gate. And they're off to a beautiful beginning in the Clocker's Corner. Hamwood Flyer is very quick, but Mucho Del Oro is even faster, and these two hook up right away. Johnny Padres is in 3rd, followed by Standing O with the white blinkers 4th and 4 lengths off the lead. Daniel's Magic is next, racing on the inside of I'm a Gambler with Sumter outside of that pair, and Irideo will do his best running later as they have less than a half mile to go. And Hamwood Flyer sets the pace, has a 3-length advantage on Mucho Del Oro in 2nd. Johnny Padres is in 3rd, followed by Standing O and Daniel's Magic at the rail. That group followed by I'm a Gambler, Sumter inching up outside of him, and Irideo looking for some racing room with a 1/4 mile to go. Hamwood Flyer, Mucho Del Oro on the outside, and Hamwood Flyer come past Clocker's Corner, 1-2. Sumter in the center of the course. Irideo dives down toward the rail, then Daniel's Magic. It's Mucho Del Oro. Now a late run from Irideo, who's really coming fast. Mucho Del Oro, Irideo, Mucho Del Oro, Irideo. Here's the line. Photo finish. It's too close to call. That is so tight. Mucho Del Oro and a flying Irideo in the Clocker's Corner.
And Irideo takes down the Clocker's Corner Stakes for trainer Marcelo Polanco and jockey.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Sweet Hello, Roman Empress, Sherlyn Go-Go in between them. Flatter with Jules comes to join 4 wide, and outside of her is a Broken Breeze. A distant early trailer is Hot Rod Mama. Heading past the 7 furlong pole, and it's Roman Empress narrowly in front to Sweet Hello 2nd. Another 2 back to Sherlyn Go-Go in 3rd. They're followed by Flatter with Jules, who backs off 4th, 5 off the lead. A Broken Breeze, Hot Rod Mama's far back. onto the backstretch, and it's Roman Empress. Sweet Hello presses from second. Those two pass the 5/8 pole together, with Sherlin Go-Go getting a good tracking spot in third. Then a Broken Breeze. Flatter with Jules now back to fifth, and 10 or more in front of Hot Rod Mama. They have 3.5 furlongs to go, and Sweet Hello is up to take the lead away from Roman Empress. 3 more lengths, Sherlin Go-Go in third. Then it's a Broken Breeze. Flatter with Jules gets a shove now to try and pick it up. 5 lengths off the lead, taking fourth. Hot Rod Mama has been at the back throughout, as Sweet Hello opens up a 1.5 lengths with a 1/4 mile to go. Sherlin Go-Go, Flatter with Jules wide, and Roman Empress down at the rail. There's less than 3/16 of a mile to go, and it's Sweet Hello in front by 2. Roman Empress trying very hard, and Flatter with Jules in the center of the racetrack. 16th to go, Sweet Hello by 5. And Sweet Hello has waved goodbye. Sweet Hello by 4 easy lengths. Joel Rosario up. Flatter with Jules second. Sherlin Go-Go third. You may also get one with a $25 donation, with the $25 going directly to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. Girl of My Dreams is sprinting out for the early lead. Miss McWhinney in the pink colors has some good early foot. Motet is down at the rail, and Not a Sinner comes away between rivals in fourth. Shop Till You Drop advancing on the far outside, and down at the rail it's Laudatory, who's only 4 lengths off the lead as they come toward the half-mile pole. Not a Sinner is racing between rivals. Coastal Cowgirl is next, 8 lengths off the leader. Another 2 back to Runaway Kitten inside Catonia, and between those two, Respect the Crown. Girl of My Dreams, Miss McWhinney move into the far turn together. 2.5 more. Shop Till You Drop is racing 3 deep at the rail. Motet and Not a Sinner between those two takes third. Laudatory is about 5 off the pace, turning for home. Coastal Cowgirl is next as they reach the top of the stretch, and Girl of My Dreams goes on by 2 lengths. Center of the course, Not a Sinner at the rail. Motet is in third, a 16th to go, and Girl of My Dreams keeps going. Motet on the inside of Not a Sinner. Girl of My Dreams, another for Freysu. Motet second. Not a Sinner finished third in front of Laudatory. Catonia in a battle for fifth with Respect the Crown.
If you're a frequent listener to the seminar, you've heard me say many times that one of the best things about our sport is that you can bet a little to win a lot, and that's true today here at Sandy. Have you seen the carryovers? It's carryover city. We've got a super high five carryover of $41,000 in race number 1. There's 7 runners running with just 1 scratch. Also, race number 1 is off the turf. As are all our turf races today, they'll be run at the scheduled distances on the main track. And more importantly, or perhaps most importantly, we've got a pick 6 carryover as well. That carryover amount is $74,000. That'll begin in race number 3. Our seminar guest today is a gentleman who knows a whole lot about betting a little to win to bet a little to win a lot. He's visiting us from New Jersey, but his home base is Minnesota. His name, Jeff Witte. Jeff, welcome to the seminar. Happy Friday.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me. It's a special place and every handicapper's dream to be in Quigley's corner. So it's fantastic.
Well,
appreciate it.
You're way too kind, but we appreciate you and your buddies coming out to San Anita. You're basically on a 5 or 6 year run where you try and escape the tundra of Minnesota and New Jersey, and you can go to any racetrack in the country, really. Gulfstream Park, Oaklawn Park, but for whatever reason, you keep coming back to the great race place. Why is that?
Well, you said it. It's a great race place. I mean, the scenery, Tom, the weather, the racing itself, it just is, you can't beat it anywhere in the country.
Now, you took a busman's holiday. Not only are you joining us this weekend, but you also decided to join us last weekend for the Pegasus World Cup at our sister track, Gulfstream Park. You were also here Sunday, and we'll talk about your style of handicapping, but I wanted to display a $30 pick 4 ticket that you played at Gulfstream Park. And you remember on Sunday, that was the day of the $1.8 million payout in the 20-cent rainbow pick 6. But first things first, look at your investment. You decided to invest $30 in the 50-cent late pick 4, covering races 8 through 11. And you can see your initials on there. I have a feeling that must be because it's something important coming up. But let's take a look at the structure of your ticket. You went 6 deep by 2 deep, a single, and then you went 5 deep. So you had a lot of coverage except in the third leg. So let's kind of rattle through each of these races and watch the stretch run replay with Pete Aiello calling the action in race number 8. You had 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 in this first leg. Let's see who won race number 8 last Sunday at Gulfstream Park.
Center and Bird Wildcat. They straighten for the drive. 1/8 of a mile remains. Sir Ollie is very game. Mauna Kea bound, and on the outside, Bird Wildcat. Here comes Bird Wildcat after the inside horse, Sir Ollie. In the middle, it's Mauna Kea bound. Bird Wildcat surging forward now. Bird Wildcat in front. Mauna Kea bound is second.
All right, Jeff, you got off to a good start. You got the 9 up. You actually paid $24.40 with that first horse. So you were basically, no big deal, right? You've been in this position before.
Sure.
One down, 3 to go, but you had a little bit of coverage. Now in the next leg, as you saw our ticket that we posted, 4 and 10 are the only 2 runners covered in the second leg of the pick 6. Let's listen to Pete Aiello describe the action for race number 9 at Gulfstream Park.
The best distance off the turn in the stretch drive. Here's Fly the W, taking him on outside. It's Spirit Animal. They come past the 8th pole. Fly the W needs to pin his ears. He's under siege here. From between horses, it's Spirit Animal. On the outside, Conglomerate. Fly the W, so game. Right alongside Spirit Animal, Conglomerate over the top. Photo finish.
All right, Jeff, it might be your lucky day because the 10 got there. You didn't have the 6, and once again, the 10 was the price. This time, paid $22.60. So you're halfway home. You got 2 good prices, but now it gets a little bit dangerous, right? You've got a single. Yeah. It's basically 9 to 1, just like all these other runners. So we need the 11 to get home in the third leg. Let's see if Javier Castellano can get the job done for Jeff in leg 3 of his pick 4.
On top, Portofino is second. Toward the inside, Richie is now third. Famous Gent with too much to do. There's 1/8 of a mile remaining, and Bring the Band Home, and Javier Castellano clear, charging into second. XY Speed, Bring the Band Home in front.
Bring the Band Home, Jeff got there paying $20.20. So you're 3 legs in. And now the good news is you got coverage in the last leg.
That's right.
You've got 1, 6, 7, 9, 12. You're 5 deep. You're probably sitting on a decent score. You only invested $30. Question for you. Did you hedge or you just let it ride?
I did hedge a little bit. I had a couple that I left off the ticket late that I wanted to cover on. So, but not too much, a couple $100.
Sure, just to protect yourself, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, let's listen to the nightcap at Gulfstream Park and see if Jeff can cash his 50-cent pick 4 ticket that cost a whopping $30. He's got 1, 6, 7, 9, 12 in this final leg.
Rolling. She's 1/8 of a mile from home and 2 on top. Kate's Charm is second. Down the center and Kissing Rock. Loose inside Mama Bella, but time is ticking away. And Sweet Mimi is still there. They can't reach her. 25 to 1 to close the Rainbow 6. Sweet Mimi went down the road. Second, Mama.
There it is.
Easy game, Jeff. 52.20. Get the biggest price home. Now tell the audience for your $30 investment. What did it pay? Do you remember?
Paid $38,000 and something.
Change, right? Just
$38,000 chump change. Yeah, exactly. So,
what a great job of handicapping.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't have time to show the whole replays for the last two legs, but both runners went wire to wire. Is that the type of handicapper you are? Do you look for early speed?
Yeah, absolutely. I love early speed. I love their looking at their last race, and if they ran well, even if they lost or lost by a lot, if they ran well, showed some speed early, I like that angle.
Now, probably a lot of people watching this figuring that you spend a ton of hours looking at replays and buying the racing form 48 hours early. But not only are you an early speed handicapper, but you're also a speed handicapper. Tell the audience how much time you spend in totality handicapping an entire card.
Yeah, well, you know, like most people, Tom, I've got a job, and so I don't necessarily have all the time in the world to handicap. And so what I like to do is I call myself the Domino's handicapper. I'm 30 minutes or less. I can get through a card because I got 3 or 4 filters that I really look for that are important to me. And so it's pretty easy to go through a card quickly when that's the case.
Jeff put in the work for today's card. I don't know if he spent more than 30 minutes, but we're going to find out who he likes on today's 8-race card. Before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's Friday's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is listed as good. We are off the turf today. No turf racing this afternoon. Here are the changes. In the first, scratch number 8, Thompson. There is a $3 originally scheduled all-turf pick 3. It's going to be a $3 all-dirt pick 3 on races 1, 3, and 6 today. Race 2, no scratches or jockey changes. In the third, scratch 1, Tiergarten. Scratch 2, Chasing Serendipity. Scratch 3, Sariha. Scratch 5, A Crown for Kitten. No Super High 5 or Superfecta. We do have the pick 6 starting with 74,000 in the carryover. Turning to the fourth race, scratch number 2, Good at Being Bad. And note that number 1, Takamakahara, is a gelding. Race 5, scratch 6, Desmond Doss. In the 6th off the turf, no high 5. Scratch 4, Uptown Preacher. Scratch 7, Blonzilla. 7th begins the golden hour, pick 4. Scratch 1, Christie's Tiger, out of race 7. And in the 8th, no scratches or jockey changes. Golden hour double starts with the 8th. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner and resume today's seminar.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with horse player Jeff Witte. It's our pleasure to have him here. He's a resident in Jersey, born and raised in Minnesota. And as you saw, seeing is believing. He played a $30 pick 4 ticket at Gulfstream Park last Sunday and cashed for in excess of $38,000. That's a remarkable feat. Let's face it, all horse players probably are very envious right now, thinking that could be them. But what type of handicapper are you, Jeff, besides being a speed handicapper? You told me off air that you like to use Brisk, that you like to use daily racing form. Those are kind of the 2 key elements in terms of identifying who the contenders are?
Yeah, like I said, the early speed is an important factor. I like to look, has the horse had success at the distance and surface in the past at some point, and really that do they have that ability to get out and get on the lead, right? And that's just years of being frustrated with getting wire to wire and you don't have them, right? So that became a part of my handicapping, and obviously it does pretty well.
You've been playing the horses for quite some time. Where did it all begin? Did your family introduce you to the game? Did you discover it on your own? How did that all kind of transpire?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So family was never into it. I was a senior in high school when Canterbury Park opened in Minnesota in 1985, and I had a lawn mowing business with a buddy, and we decided to go out and check out this new horse racing thing.
Try and make some more money.
Yeah, exactly. Try to double, see if we can mow one lawn and double it, right? So I went out there, dipped my toe there.
Did your buddy know much about horses, or you just stumbled into it?
Just stumbled into it.
Okay.
Just thought, hey, let's go do something fun today,
right.
And that's what we did. And then I went in the military for 5 years, and when I got out, I met some friends that were also handicappers, horse players, and the rest is history. And the beauty of it is those guys that I met when I first started getting into it are still my best friends today. So, 25, 30 years later. So it's a great game to build relationships and stay close with your friends because, horses are running every day.
I say it all the time. Coming to the track is a great social experience, right? You can play on your phone or on the computer, but there's nothing like coming to the track, which is why you guys come to Santa Anita to really have a great weekend. Not only during the day for the races, but then go to some local watering hole establishment and watch some hockey games.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's one of the reasons I started, handicapping and being prepared ahead of time because, when I get to the track, I want to socialize. I want to talk to my friends, hang out, and have some fun with it, relax, right? And when I've got it all finished ahead of time, it really allows for that.
You mentioned Canterbury Park, and of course, that's where you cut your teeth. I cut my teeth at Arlington Park, just down the road outside in the suburbs of Chicago. What is it about Canterbury Park that you like? I know you know a lot of people there that you kind of want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, I'd love to give a shout out to Canterbury and Monmouth as well. But it's a place where you can know a lot of people because it's a small group that really, still goes there these days. And
both tracks seem to be like very family-oriented tracks. I've been to Monmouth Park many times, never to Canterbury Park, but watching the simulcast feed, they both seem to embrace the community and kind of welcome the novices in, just like you back in 1985.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. They have a lot of family days. They have a lot of traditions that they've carried on over the years for families to come out and really have a fun time.
Do you laugh at our weather forecasters predicting doom and gloom about the apocalyptic rainstorm? And now you can see behind you, there are some clouds, but of course the storm is blown by. Nothing like Minnesota or New Jersey, right?
No, and I love the jackets, right? The thick jackets everybody has on. I'm out in a t-shirt earlier today, just living the dream. Yeah, it's great.
Well, we're hopeful that you can give us some winners on today's card, Jeff. So let's kick things off here in race number one. As I mentioned earlier, race number one does have a super high five carryover, $41,000. That's a couple race carryover from closing day on Sunday when nobody had it in the last race as well. We've got a field of 7, and we're going 6 furlongs on the main track. All turf races are off the turf today and will be run on the main track at the scheduled distances. Of course, race number one also begins the 50-cent early pick 5. The morning line favorite and the current betting choice off of victory last time out is number 2, Nesso's Last Hurrah from the Jeff Mullins barn. 7 ways you can go here, Jeff. Which way you going?
Well, I mean, the obvious play is the favorite, but I always get a little nervous when a horse gets an easy lead and then runs a huge number.
Even though it shows early speed, you kind of look at the way the race developed.
Yeah, exactly. When they show right out that they really never had any pace pressure and then they take them gate to wire, that always makes me a little nervous because it's hard to duplicate that kind of thing in terms of the race
and different
the way it lays out. Yeah. So I've got the 2, probably because I just don't have the courage right now to try to beat it, but I do like the 3. And if I had a way to beat the 2, it would be with the 3 because of that early pace scenario. I think that one will be up there as well.
You're definitely a speed handicapper, as we've been talking about, and I joked earlier, but do you ever go back and either watch a race replay or maybe talk, to somebody in the know, an owner or something, and try and get an edge? Or are you just an old school handicapper that just relies on what you see in the racing form or on Briss?
Yeah, I'm pretty old school. I mean, I can't tell you how many times like you've gotten the inside tip on something and it doesn't work.
Sometimes too much information is no good.
Yeah, exactly. I think if I stick with how I do things, win or lose, I'm fine with it.
It's worked for you so far, and certainly last Sunday was a big feather in your cap, that's for sure. Yeah. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This time we're going 2 turns on the main track. 1 mile's the distance, $12,500 is the claiming tag. A field field of 5. Morning line favorite number 3, Big Buzz, who is adding goggles. You won't see that in the racing form, but in the program, Big Buzz is adding goggles for trainer Ron Ellis. 8-5 on the morning line, according to John White. How'd you see race 2, Jeff?
I actually like the longest shot on the board, Tom.
I like it.
I like the 6-1. Now, Vu, I guess that's how you'd say it. But again, this is a scenario. The horse has had success at this level in the past. Likes the distance. Going to be near the lead, if not on the lead, wiring the field. But I do like the 2 here.
Let me ask you a question, Jeff. We talked about how you like the favorites, or at least the potential favorite in race number 1, but now you like the longest shot on the board, at least from a morning line standpoint, in race number 2. Does that impact your style of wagering? In other words, let's say you liked all 4 chalks in that Gulfstream Park pick 4 that we looked at last Sunday. Would you still have made the play, or would you have just walked away and play another track?
Yeah, well, the key is the singles. I'm a big believer in, if you can't make a stand or don't have an opinion in a sequence, don't play it, right? So that
you
11,
need a price. You need a price.
Yeah, and that 11 really stood out to me as a single. It's going to go off around 10-1. And to me, that's the important part of it. If it's going to be chalky, yeah, I probably won't play it.
Now, on Sunday, that was the day of, as I mentioned, the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 carryover, and the winning tickets were $1.8 million. You cashed for $36,000. That's the good news. The bad news is you had 5 out of 6 and you missed 1 leg. I mean, you had a smile on your face cashing that ticket, but at the same time, you were so close to greatness.
Well, you know how it is as a handicapper, the what ifs, right? If only I had done this or that. Yeah, not being content is part of the game for sure.
Race number 3 begins the $1 pick 6, and as you've heard, there's a $74,000 pick 6 carryover starting in race number 3, and we're going 1 mile on the main track. Also take note, if you have a program, this race is named in honor of the Le Meridian sales team, a new hotel located across the street. If you're coming to visit San Diego, I would encourage you to make a reservation there. They do a tremendous job accommodating horse players, and you can literally walk from the hotel right to the clubhouse entrance. So make sure you check out the Le Meridian Hotel next time you're in Southern California. But race number 3 is a race for fillies and mares, $32,000 claimers, and we've got 4 scratches, leaving us with a field of 3. The scratched runners are 1, 2, 3, and 5, and now the revised morning line favorite is number 4, Kiera Thunder from the John Sadler barn. 4-5 in the morning line, likely to go lower. This kind of depresses things, right, from a gambling standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, you shop all around the country, right? You're not track biased. You're willing to go to Oak Lawn Park and Golden Gate.
Fodder.
But these, because of the weather and off the turf, this kind of dampens the enthusiasm for multi-race players.
Yeah, exactly. I think, obviously there's going to be he might end up 1-9 this horse, but this would be an all race for me. I would just say I'm going to go all here.
Easy, right? Yeah. Just 3, you can cover the expense. Right. You got $38,000 blowing a hole in your pocket. What's the big deal, right? Race number 4 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track, and here it gets a little bit deeper in terms of contentions. This is a maiden claiming race for 3-year-olds. $32,000 is the claiming tag. Scratch the 2, Good at Being Bad, the morning line favorite, number 3, Let the Liquor Talk, who's 2-1 on the morning line. Quick question for you first, Jeff. Do you play hunch names? Let the Liquor Talk. That sounds like a horse you and I would play on a hunch. Yeah, right. Do you ever just throw a horse in because of a name?
I don't. No, I don't do that.
No?
I've done it in the past. Don't get me wrong, but I've learned my lesson.
Well, let's take a look. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Jeff, I wanted to show a workout for a horse that you might find interesting. It's a workout for number 6, Tiger by the Tail, a second-time starter from the Ryan Hansen barn. If you have the racing form in front of you, you can see that he's only had 1 career start, and it was in a maiden 50 level. And that maiden 50 level, now he's running for maiden 32, and boy, does that ugly line really look pretty bad. But he's had 1 workout since then. This workout was on January 24th from the gate, courtesy of our friends at xbtv.com. Let's watch that replay. He's the horse in the middle with the red and white silks or garb, for lack of a better word. Excuse me. And you can see he's already on the lead, which is very different than the running line that you see. I have a feeling that this horse has more speed. He's easily outworking his 2 workmates here early on in this workout. You're not going to find this information unless you go to xbtv.com and watch this workout specifically. This is a bit of an open race, and not a lot of these runners have ability, Jeff. Who do you like in this race and why before you saw this workout?
Well, I like the 3 originally. Unfortunately, the favorite, but I just see that the horse is going to have the speed. Has the back speed there. You can see from its last race. Again, Tom, this quite frankly, this would be an all on a ticket for sure, because to me it's wide open. You don't have a lot to go on, and I can't get to workouts, and you can read the workouts and so forth, but because of that, there's just too much unknown for me. So
how many times are you willing to use the all button, say in a pick 4 or a pick 5? In other words, is there a limit? I mean, obviously there's an economical limit. You know, I mean, is it, from your standpoint alone, how many times are you willing to use all?
At least once, maybe twice if I have 2 singles in a sequence, but for sure, if I have a single, I could use an all easy.
Now, contrarians would say you're wasting a lot of money on combinations that aren't going to win. How do you kind of retort to that?
There's too much unknown in a race like this for me. There are too many things that I don't know that to try to narrow it down to 1 or 2 is really challenging.
Horse racing gambling is so unique because, as I mentioned in the opening, you can bet a little to win a lot. Do you play other things like sports or casino games, or are you strictly focused on horses?
Yeah, I'm just a horse guy. Yeah, I've never done the sports thing. Casinos, really none of that. No, I just like the horses because, quite frankly, it's the only game where, you know, in 2 minutes, you know, you can make a couple $1,000s, right?
Sure.
So I like that action part of it rather than a game, you know, you sit there for 4 hours to make $100. I don't know. It just doesn't do much for me.
I'm on your side, that's for sure. What about owning a horse? You know, you're obviously playing the horses. Have you ever get involved in a partnership or syndicate?
Not yet, but, you know, maybe now with a little free money I have, maybe I'll buy into
outside the studio here knocking on our door looking for you to invest.
It's definitely
something that you'd like to do.
It's on the bucket list for sure.
Sure.
It's something I'd like to do sometime.
Have you been to the backside? Have you been to the backside of either Canterbury or Monmouth Park or San Anita, like to see what it's like on the backside in the barn area?
I've been to the backside at Keeneland quite a bit. They have a pretty open policy that people can go back there. So I've been back there. I've been at the backside of Monmouth, but not Canterbury or here. But I love that.
It's a different world, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
for those people, those horse players who haven't witnessed it, it's a completely different thing than what you see on the front side. You know, there's no gambling discussion back there, let's say. I mean, obviously it's all about the horse, giving the horse its proper care. It's really a beautiful thing to see.
It is. It's great. And just, you know, sitting and watching the horses in their stall. And Saratoga is another one that I went to the backside on. Yeah, it's a really cool thing to see. And it gives you a different perspective on the game and, you know, and the athletes, the animals, right? It's really nice.
Race number 5 begins your favorite wager, Jeff, the 50-cent late pick 4. We're spraying 6 furlongs on the main track. $32,000 is the claiming tag. Scratch the 6, leaves us with a field of 5. Number 1, Top Gun Tommy is the 8-5 morning line favorite. Fresh off a victory, first off the claim for trainer Steve Knapp. Ran a career high Beyer speed figure last time out. Do you believe in the bounce theory? Do you believe in, you know, I don't know if you've heard that with the Sheets guys, off a very career top effort, they sometimes think that the horse reacts negatively. Do you believe in that theory?
Sometimes, right? Like in the first race, that to me could be a potential bounce. It depends on how the race played out, right? If they got the easy lead and just galloped around the track, that would be a cause for concern for me. But yeah, in some cases, I do believe in that. I think with this one, you know, it's climbing up the ladder here. Obviously, I'm going to take the 2, Tom. I like the 2 here. I think the 2 is going to be
another speed horse
to the lead. Yeah, believe that.
That's crazy.
So I'm going to take the 2 and think that, you know, that horse is going to run with it. And the 1's going to be there, no question in my mind. But I'm going to take a shot with the 2 here.
Habeas is the 2 who's 12-1 on the morning line, likely to come lower with the scratch of Desmond Doss. But let's just say on the tote board, Habeas is sitting up there come post time around 6-1. We know you like to play the multi-race exotics. Will you also make an old-fashioned win bet on the horse as well?
Sure.
You will?
Yep. I'll do a win bet. I'll play a trifecta. That kind of thing with that horse on top. Yep.
Do you key? Do you box? Like when you say trifectas, what type of trifecta?
Yeah, no, I'll key this horse. So the horse I like in the race, I'll key it on top, and then I'll put 3, 4 others, you know, in second, and then I always go all in third every time. Yeah.
Can't handicap
because how many times have you lost a trifecta when something, you know, schleps up there that you didn't have? So yeah.
Race number 6 off the turf course, but we're in 1 mile on the main track. This race is for maiden special weight Calbred. Fillies and Mares, 2 scratches. Scratch the 4 and 7, leaves us with a field of 6. Number 1, In Her Prime from the Carla Gaines barn is the 5-2 morning line favorite. First time Frankie Dettori in the saddle. Talk to us about race 6, Jeff.
Yeah, I like the 3 here. I like Sandacy. I like the fact that JJ's hopping on the horse, and it's been competitive. Every race gets bet. And I just think that today might be the day.
And we also see in race number 6, you like number 6, Bougie Like, who's from the Doug O'Neill barn at 3-1. What do you like about Bougie Like?
Well, going to be gunning, right?
Sure.
Should be right out of the gate there. So I think that's the piece that I like there, I think.
Do you ever look at breeding? And the reason why I ask is for number 6, Bougie Like, who you picked second in this race, sired by California Chrome, a daughter of California Chrome. Does that ever come into play with your handicapping, or that's just one variable that isn't part of your 30-minute handicapping?
Yeah.
No time.
Got to draw the line somewhere. And I just, I don't have the time to study the breeding and all of that. So I leave that to the pros.
No time for that nonsense. You're too busy cashing $38,000 tickets. Race number 7 begins the $1 golden hour pick 4 wager. If you're not familiar with that wager, it links our last 2 races here with the last 2 races at Golden Gate. And we kick things off spreading 6.5 furlongs on the main track for fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Scratch the 1, Christie's Tiger leaves us with a field of 5. Morning line favorite on the bottom, second off the layoff, number 6, Sweet Azteca from the Michael McCarthy barn. 8-5 on the morning line. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Jeff, I wanted to watch a replay. This replay was back on December 31st, New Year's Eve day, right here at Santa Anita, and the replay will showcase both number 2 and 3 in this race, kind of ding-donging for the lead. They both kind of fade out of it, but we'll see if they can improve off of that effort. So let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action for December 31st. By the way, ignore the fractions you see on the TV screen. Those are incorrect.
And they're off, and Professor's Pride had a very rough start. Quick start for Vida Lera with the white blinkers taking the lead. Llorona is flashing some early speed. Blessed Touch, our Swerve and Gervin on the outside. Then Christie's Tiger, and after that rough start, Professor's Pride is about 10 lengths off the lead. It's Vida Lera out of the chute leading the way over heavily favored Llorona, who's down at the rail in second. Then Blessed Touch ahead back third, followed by our Swerve and Gervin and Christie's Tiger, just 3 lengths off the lead. Another 4 to Professor's Pride. Half mile to run. Long shot Vida Lera is the leader by a half length. Mike Smith asks Llorona to come after her down at the rail, and she does so. And those two within a neck of one another now, with 2 lengths back to Blessed Touch third. Christie's Tiger is clearly in fourth. Our Swerve and Gervin dropping back, and Professor's Pride. Llorona, Vida Lera on even terms. Blessed Touch running a good race on the outside as the field turns for home. Llorona's going to have to do better than that. They straighten up, and Blessed Touch and Vida Lera. Christie's Tiger, Llorona is down on the rail. They're inside the 8th pole, and Blessed Touch emerges with the lead. At the rail, Vida Lera fighting bravely, and Christie's Tiger comes alive. Here's Christie's Tiger and Juan Hernandez to run them all down. Second to
Jeff, I can't roll my R's like track announcer Frank Miramati, but we saw your Rona there show speed along the rail and then kind of faded come stretch time. I can tell you that the clockers have talked about your Rona now adding a cup blinker to her equipment today, and certainly expectations are high for her. She's a half to Corniche, who won the 2023 Breeders' Cup Juvenile for trainer Bob Baffert, earned $1.2 million in his short career. So that's why the connections of your Rona paid $750,000. We also saw Vida Lera run very, very well, kind of showed speed uncharacteristically last time out. We'll see if she can improve off that effort. She's a 5-year-old mare. 5 different ways you can go here, Jeff. Which way you going and why?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be really interested in seeing how this 6 runs. I think this horse could be pretty special. So I'm taking the 6, Sweet Azteca. I like the fact that it was competitive in the grade 3, and so it's going to be interesting to see how that horse runs. Expecting a big effort.
And you also like number 5, Noki, to maybe upset a couple of the favorites in the exacta. Why do you like her? She's kind of lightly raced. She's also a 5-year-old mare with just 5 lifetime starts.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like the fact that seems to be getting better, right? And I think if anything's going to come off the pace, this horse won't be too far off that it can rally and get up for a win. We've
talked, Jeff, about how there's only so many hours of the day and you can only spend 30 minutes handicapping a card. And we also talked about how you go to watch hockey games after the races are over. Do you ever come in the morning to Clocker's Corner and have breakfast and watch the horses work out?
I do. I came last weekend. I was here Saturday or Sunday morning, I believe. And what a thrill that is.
That is just place,
it's so cool to see, when they gather at the end of the chute, wait for the tractors to finish their work, and then they all come out like an army. It's pretty special.
Plus, you can rub shoulders with jockeys and trainers, Baffert, Flavian, the rest of the gang's usually walking around. Food's not bad either, right?
No, the food is great. The breakfast was massive. It was awesome.
Good way to start the day.
Absolutely.
And it was your lucky breakfast as well, since it was last Sunday.
Right.
Race number 8, we close out the day and we close out the card. Keep in mind, tomorrow on Saturday, we've got 10 races planned for you on an early first post, 15 minutes early. 12:15 p.m. Pacific time will be first post for Saturday's card tomorrow. But first things first, in race number 8, we're traveling 1 mile on the main track for maiden special weight, 3-year-old fillies. It looks like a talented field. We've got a field of 8, and of course, race 8 begins the $5 Golden Hour Daily Double, linking our last race here with the last race at Golden Gate. The morning line favorite on the bottom, number 8, Ultimate Authority from the Tim Yock Team Bar, 9-5 on the morning line. Really improved last time out, going 2 turns. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Jeff, I wanted to watch a workout for the rail horse, number 1, Gate to Paradise. This workout was on January 27th, and Gate to Paradise is down on the inside. And take a look at who's on the outside of Gate to Paradise, a talented stakes runner from the John Sheriff's barn named Sir Atticus. So Gate to Paradise is certainly working in very strong company here. To give you an idea, Sir Atticus just finished 3rd last month to Big City Lights and Newgate, a couple of very talented stakes runners. So Sir Atticus being outworked by Gate to Paradise is not insignificant. You can also see trainer John Sheriff elects to take the blinkers off today, and you can see Gate to Paradise is not wearing blinkers. She's the gray, about to go outside these other 2 runners in front of her. And what I liked about this workout, Jeff, is not only does Gate to Paradise put away Sir Atticus, who's a very talented horse, but take a look at how she pins her ears and now wants to catch these 2 runners in front of her. She's going to catch the horse right inside of her. She's not going to be able to catch the runner on the rail, but she's very determined. She's trying hard, and you can see the connections in this horse's 2nd career race. Actually tried the Del Mar Debutante and finished a good 3rd in a field of 12. I don't know about you, but 7-2 sounds like a pretty good price to me on a runner that seems to be in very good form based upon that workout. Having said all that, it isn't my seminar, it's your seminar. They want to hear from you who you like, and it looks like you like the bottom, number 8, Ultimate Authority.
I do. I think the 8's going to be really tough, but I got a sneaky little shot here on the 4, Tom. I think this horse is going to be around early, and again, you know how I like that. If you're around early, it gives you a little courage, right, to finish the job. And I think that little bomber in the last race here might have a shot here. But again, this would be another one where I probably would go pretty deep.
Sure. And Glow Glow number 4, your bomber in the race at 15-1. You can see also has been well fancied at the betting windows all 3 efforts up to this point. Is that another thing you look at besides early speed? Just see how much action they took at the tote board in the previous races?
Yeah, it helps. It boosts my confidence a little bit that I'm climbing up the right tree, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Another question for you, Jeff, before we wrap up the seminar, and that is, you just kind of subtly put in that you served 7 years for our military. What's who did you serve for, and what was your tour of duty?
Yeah, I was in the Army. So I went in 1986, and I was on the U.S. Honor Guard. So out in Washington D.C., I did that for a few years, and it was a great time, and really an honor to serve the country. So. Now when you're 18, you think 20 years is a lifetime. So, but 20 years, you'd retire at 38. I kind of wish I would have. Yeah, exactly. I wish I would have done it, stayed in it. But I got out, went to school, but it was a great decision. It's still paying off today.
Well, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for your time and energy today. Congratulations on your winning Pick 4 ticket at Gulfstream Park last Sunday. Let's do it again this weekend and have some more fun.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Jeff, very much. Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Next voice you hear will be track announcer Frank Miramati updating us with any late program changes. Make sure you play both the Super High 5 carryover in race 1 and the Pick 6 carryover beginning in race number 3. Who knows, you might cash a winning ticket just like Jeff.